Hey everyone, what's up? It's Raylo from KidneyPuncher.com here to bring you another review. Today we're going to be talking about the Moradin. This tank, which comes in 5 milliliters and 3 milliliter options and black and stainless steel, is one heck of an awesome RTA. But before I go any further into this, let's go ahead and dive down up close. We'll take apart the 3 milliliter version and show you all the insides and how it works. All right, so here we are in up close mode with the Moradin. This RTA, which I said before, comes in stainless steel and black and 3 and 5 milliliters. So here's the box that it comes in. Tells you the color and the milliliters. On the back here, you get a little bit of instruction, kind of just talking about the product. But let's go ahead and open this sucker up and show you what's inside. So here we have the 3 milliliter version in stainless steel. So let's go ahead and open this box up and get nice and up close with the Moradin RTA. Sorry, I had to clean this thing out. You could still see some water specks in there. But let's go ahead and start from the top. So the top here we have a Delrin drip tip, which at the end here comes to 9 millimeters, and at the bottom here is at 6 millimeters, which goes all the way down into the chamber. This drip tip also has a texture to it, which is kind of nice, and gives you a little bit of grip. So this is how you fill it. Now, in past reviews that I watched on this tank, this was all Delrin. So it looks like they changed this out and put a stainless steel ring inside there to thread on to the top of your tank, which is really good because now you don't have to worry about the threads on your drip tip getting all messed up. Now we have this. Let's go ahead and take the tank section off here. Right, so tank section's off. Let's spend a little bit more time with this. So it's all stainless steel construction. You can clearly see Moradin right here. And right here you have some juice channels, and also allows you to see and open and close your juice flow, which is very important. Now let's look inside. So the inside is actually really restricted, but this is a good thing for you guys out there that like to chase flavor. You're not going to fit any giant builds in here. Most likely the best build in my opinion, which I show at the end of this, is 2.5 millimeter inner diameter with some 26 gauge nichrome 80. Works perfectly in this tank. So if you look inside here, what we have is a ceramic chamber. So this all in here is some really high quality ceramic, and this little ring right here, you can see this little metal ring, is what's holding it in place. So you look a little bit closer, you can see right here where everything is being held in place. Now you are going to have to be mindful of this when you're building your coils because it does hang just a hair more than the ceramic does. All right, now let's take a look at the deck. So what we have here, first things first, which makes me very happy, is Phillips head set screws. Yes, Phillips head set screws. No Allen with this one. Makes it very, very easy to unscrew and screw down. And you don't have to worry so much about having a special tool. As long as you have yourself a nice small Phillips head screwdriver, you are good to go. And another important thing you can see in here is more ceramic. So they lined the whole deck with ceramic. So your airflow and everything have ceramic on them, which is quite important to help without worrying about shorting out when your coil touches the deck or any other situation. And ceramic has been talked about as being better for flavor. What you have here is you have your juice channels. So you could see here, 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 and here we have juice channels, and then these two holes right here are for your airflow. You have 2 millimeter post holes on both posts, and they're square posts. Let's go down here on the side. So what you're seeing here is your juice channel. So juice is going to flow into here, come up through here, and saturate your wick. Very easy to use, and if you stick around to the end and you watch the build tutorial, I show you how to build and wick this thing very, very simply. All right, now we go down to your airflow control. Your airflow control has two 9.5 millimeter Cyclops style slots, which are fully adjustable. You just grab on and twist. So you can open and close your airflow. Then down below you have a knurled section, which makes it a lot easier. It gives you some grip when you're holding onto this. And the airflow control is a little stiff, so it is a lot easier having this knurled section to hold on to while you're doing this. And I'll show you once I put this all back together another key feature that makes this tank just amazing. Let's look here at the bottom. We have our serial number at the top, and down here at the bottom you have designed and created by Icloudcig. And then we also have a copper center post. This is not adjustable. If you unscrew this, you will basically be loosening up your positive post on the deck, which is sort of a bummer. One thing I wouldn't suggest is using this in a hybrid. You can see it doesn't really stick out too far at all. So for you guys that have hybrid mods, this one's probably not the best for you. But if you have a standard mod with a regular 510, this will work flawlessly. So let's go ahead and put this back together and show you the key features of this awesome new tank. All right, so we're all back together again. Now, cool thing about this airflow control is it also doubles as your juice flow control. Now, I want you to pay attention to this section right here inside the tank. See this little black section right here? So when you're going to fill this tank, or you're going to put it in your pocket, or you just don't want to worry about it leaking at all, you just pop that airflow ring right up. Now you can see your airflow has been completely shut off, and your juice flow has also been completely shut off. So now when you're filling it and you're filling up the juice inside this tank, you don't have to worry about it flooding out. It keeps the seal nice and tight. So when you're done filling it, you just screw your drip tip back on and just pop your airflow ring right back down. Everything is nice and open and ready to use. So there you go, you guys. That is the quick up close with the Moradin RTA. Let's go ahead and go back into FaceTime. We'll talk about it, vape on it. All right, so we're back from up close mode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the up close time with the new Moradin RTA. Let me go ahead and take a vape on it real quick just to show you how it works. Today I'm going to be using the Triad mod by Lost Vape, the new triple battery mod by Lost Vape. This thing is classy. So let's go ahead and take a quick vape. So, as you can see, this vapes flawlessly. You get plenty of clouds with this, and with the wide open airflow, it's just about as good as using a dripper, in my personal opinion. But before I digress, let's go ahead and talk about some specs and kind of go over everything about this device. So the Moradin RTA is a 22mm RTA. It is stainless steel construction. You saw it has the awesome, really easy to use top fill. It has the ceramic deck and chamber to help with flavor. It has a single or dual coil option. Now, you saw the deck and it doesn't look like a single would work in there. Now, the way that the single would work is you have your two posts. You want to line your coil right in between those two posts and have your wick split and go into those channels. It does work. I have tried it. I'm just a dual coil guy. So on top of that, you saw we had the Phillips head set screws, which is a big plus in my opinion. You have 2mm post holes. You have the square post. You have the Delrin drip tip, which starts at 9mm and goes down into 6mm once you get down into the chamber. And you have the 9.5mm dual airflow slots. And of course, the big plus for me is being able to just go pop, and now everything's closed off, and pop, everything's open back up again. So you never have to worry about breaking the seal, which is extremely helpful if you're used to using an RTA and you've had that experience before where you're filling and it just floods everywhere. You're not going to have that problem with this device. Now, let's talk about the most important part. So at Kidney Puncher right now, we're selling this for $19.95. That's right. You get this tank, you can get the 5 or the 3 for $19.95. That is an amazing deal for an awesome RTA. I seriously have not found any fault with this yet, other than sometimes this could be a little stiff. But other than that, it's been working flawlessly for me since I've been using it, and I was really excited and running around telling everyone about it. So I figured I would make this video, let you guys know, let you guys take a look at it, and see for yourself what you think. So being able to close off your juice flow and your airflow when you're filling is a major component with this device. The super easy top fill, it's really hard to beat. Plus, building on this and wicking on this is made pretty simple. I haven't had any dry burns. I haven't had any leaking or flooding at all. So let me go ahead and take another quick vape on this. Just the performance on this alone and the price point is just incredible. So if you're looking for an RTA that's under $20, this is the one to get. I don't think there's another RTA in that price range that can even compare to the Moradin RTA. So that's pretty much it for this review. If you want to stick around and watch the rebuild portion of this, where I put the coils in, wick it for you, and show you how to fill it, go ahead and stick around. That's going to come up right after this. But if this is where we part ways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And as always, vape on. All right, you guys. So thanks for sticking around for the up close build tutorial section for the Moradin RTA. So today what we're going to be using, of course, some kidney puncher nichrome 80 26 gauge, some cotton bacon V2. I have my coil master kit all laid out, and just to make things go a little bit quicker, I made 2 coils ready to go. These are 10 wraps of 26 gauge with a 2.5 millimeter inner diameter. So let's go ahead and get up close, take this thing off, and show you how to build and wick in the Moradin. All right, so as you saw before, here is the deck for the Moradin. I'm going to be using the black 5 milliliter tank. So as you can see here, you have your 2-post deck, your Phillips head set screws, and we're ready to go. So let's get this started. All right, so to make life a little bit easier, it's best to have 2 different bits. So I have 2 2.5 coil master bits here, and this just makes it easier when you're dealing with a 2-post deck that only has 1 hole in each post. So let me show you how that works. Okay, so here is your deck. Once again, we have the screws undone, and then we just take our leads, feed them into that hole. And with this one, like you saw in the up close portion, you need to get these as close as humanly possible to these posts without actually touching the post. So now we have this one in. Let's go ahead and do the second one. And you can see here, one thing I do is I curl up. Makes this whole process way less frustrating. So let's go ahead and do our second coil. And just sort of play around with the wire. You want to wiggle them in there, try and get them in, again, as close as possible. Now, the whole reason you have the 2 bits is now you can just squeeze and pull these through. All right, now our coils are in place. Let's go ahead and screw these down. All right, now our coils are nice and tight in here. Let me take these bits off, cut off these tag ends. All right, so our tag ends are cut, our coils are in. Now the main thing is I lift them up just a hair. You can see, just a little bit off the deck. And then I want to make sure that both my coils look exactly the same. That looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go ahead and retighten my screws, something you always want to do anytime you mess with your coils. Okay, so now that we got our coils all nice and set and pretty, let's go ahead and do some dry firing real quick to get any hot spots out and also to compress our coils down. One thing you want to note whenever doing this, so typically I vape this at around 50 watts. So I always drop it down whenever I'm going to dry fire. So we got a 0.43 at 34.2. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. And of course, ceramic tweezers from the Coil Master kit are perfect for this because you can actually touch your coil while you're firing it. So you could see we're kind of getting some hot spots on that coil and just a little bit of love. And that one's good. Let's do our second one here. All right, now let's see. Are we getting very even vape on both coils? Except this one needs a little bit more love. There we go. That looks perfect. Let's go ahead and let these cool down and I'll show you how to wick. So as I said before, the wick we're going to be using is Cotton Bacon version number 2. So let's go ahead and open up this package and pull ourselves out some cotton. So if you've never used Cotton Bacon before, it comes in these little sheets right here. So we're just going to pull off enough to wick our 2.5 millimeter coils. Just cut that right in half. And as always, make sure you twist one end nice and tight to make it fit inside your coil. All right, so now we have our wick in there. Of course, we're not going to keep all of this stuff, so we're going to cut some of this off. And of course, when you're putting your wick in, you always want it to have a little bit of resistance inside the coil. You don't want it to move in there freely. You want to be able to tug on it to get it to move. So one thing that I like to do with this, which makes your life a whole lot easier, is when you look down here at the bottom, you could see these little channels, these right here. That's where your wick's going to go. That's where your juice is going to get to it. So really all you need to do is just cut it right at the base. You don't need too much wick in these channels, and you don't want to underdo it either. You want to get it just right. With most RTAs, that's the hardest part, is the wicking. So when all's said and done, you should only have about that much cotton. And you can see it's pretty much right there at the lip edge. So next step, of course, is you got to take your trusty tweezers and just poke your cotton right into those juice channels. And remember, you don't want it to be in there too tight or you're going to end up getting dry hits. So make sure it's in there fairly loose, not too tight. All right, so when it's all said and done, this is exactly what it should look like. You can kind of see some of that cotton in those little juice channels right there. That's perfect. This will give you an exceptional vape. So next thing we'll do, we'll take some of this Tags Up flintlock. By the way, Tags Up is doing a advocacy sale right now with Kidney Puncher, where every bottle that you buy of Tags Up has been marked down to $13 for a 30 mil, and 10 of those dollars goes to fight for your right to vape. So make sure you pick up a bottle of this and help us in this fight with Kidney Puncher, Sonoran, and the Vaping Militia. Let's go ahead and saturate our wick here before we fill up the tank. All right, so we got our build all put back together again. Now I'll show you how to fill the Moradin. Now this Moradin, like I said before, has some cool features. So with your airflow control and juice flow control ring, just pop that up. Now everything's locked and sealed. Unscrew your drip tip and fill in these giant chambers. Very, very easy. Go ahead and speed this up for you. All right, so now it's all nice and filled. All you got to do to vape it is just pull that ring down. Your juice channels are now open. Airflow is open. You can go ahead and screw this back onto your favorite device and vape away. So there you go, you guys. That was the build tutorial and review for the Moradin RTA. This thing is a winner. So if you pick this up, follow these instructions, you'll have an exceptional vape. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, vape on.